What's going on, guys? Welcome to We Got a Problem. So I was in complete disbelief earlier today when I watched Good Morning Britain. On the show they had the boxer Amir Khans Wife. I'm not going to try and butcher her name, so Amir Khans Wife or Mrs. Khan will do. She is on the show with a member of the girl group Sugar Babes, who actually lives in the real world, unlike the former. Now, Mrs. Khan decided it was a good idea to go on the GMB show to make the argument she should be paid for staying home, looking after her kids, cleaning the house, and feeding herself and her children. But that is not all. This extremely wealthy woman does not just think they should get paid. Oh no, that's not enough. She thinks they should get an obscene amount of money per year for staying at home being a mother. Now let's watch the first clip and destroy this rich woman's ridiculous idea. For context, she is worth over £100,000 and her husband, the world champion boxer Amir Khan, is worth £23 million. Now, if I was worth £23 million and my wife decided it was a good idea to go on TV to beg the government to give women who stay at home £100,000 a year wages, I would be getting a divorce tomorrow. Let's get into it anyway.
Them a salary to look after the kids and the household, as well as pocket money for fun things.
Well, that's the thought, yeah, of one parent who started an online debate after saying she deserved a monthly wage. So, is she right? Well, we're joined now by mother of two, Farial Maktoum, who says she is the CEO of her house and deserves a wage, alongside mum of one, Amal Baraba, who thinks the love you get from your children is payment enough. Farial, let's start with you. So you believe that actually a salary of some sort, as well as some extra money, not just to run the house, but for you to enjoy yourself, is the least you deserve?
I think we're saving so much cost because the government would be subsidizing it anyway. Us staying home, we're working like 90 hours a week, you know, and we're not just looking after our children, but the entire house. Like a CEO of the house, that's not getting paid. So it's like laundry, cooking, cleaning, looking after your children. And I think that, you know, when you put it all together, we should get paid more than like a surgeon or a lawyer. It adds up to 100K a year, more than that.
So more than a surgeon or a lawyer, Amal?
Now, if ever there was an interview that shows how out of touch some of these rich people really are, it might just be that clip there. What has this woman been smoking? She thinks she is the CEO of the house. Well, I'm sorry, but I have a quick newsflash for you, sweetheart. The CEO is the head of a business. You're the chief executive officer who is paid because the company actually makes money. Even a charity's CEO is a paid position because the charity has an income through donations given to them by the public. If you want an income so you can be the CEO of your home business while you look after your kids, you could always turn your mansion into a bed and breakfast. And then you are a stay-at-home CEO boss bitch mother, ain't you? I mean, you shouldn't need me to tell you this. You already know all of this. You already run a makeup business, don't you? You really didn't think this one through, did you? I can't believe she actually said that with a straight face before she then decides to go balls deep on her idea, claiming stay-at-home mums should be paid more than doctors or lawyers. Just so we got this right, Amir Khan's wife thinks a woman bringing up her own children is worth more than a doctor or a lawyer and should be paid £100,000 a year. In what world do you think the people who save someone's life is less monetarily valuable than someone who brings up their own kids? You know, does their parental responsibility? You really ain't living in the real world. It sounds to me like she is trying to close some imaginary wage gap between men and women, but doing it in some far-reaching way that I have never even imagined, and I'm sure most feminists never imagined. Let's hear from a woman now who lives in the real world, though.
I just don't agree with it. Like, I think if you choose to have children, you should bring your children up with love, and obviously you love your children. But, you know, I just can't see it as a job. And if we break up everything in this day, in this life that we have, into money and an employee, it kind of takes away the personal love that you have for your child. That's the only thing that I've kind of got. I can't see from your perspective.
It's putting a price on having children.
Yeah.
But the government, as you say, the government does subsidise childcare, subsidises nursery places so that women, mums, can go back to work, maybe for their choice, but maybe also just for financial need.
Yeah.
So what is wrong with them giving money to the mother to stay at home so that she can occasionally, you know, go out for a drink with friends or have a cup of coffee?
So the former sugar babe speaks some sense. It's not a job, hence why you should not be paid for it. We then hear the host ask, because the government subsidises childcare, should they give it to the mother instead? I will tell you now, No, they should not. They will never go back to work if you pay them to sit at home. I mean, think about it. Imagine every man or woman who decided to stay at home with their kids was paid to do so. We would be paying 40% of the country to stay at home. Say goodbye to our economy in that situation.
But that's, I don't know, I think that if you and your partner choose to have a child, the thing is you should, you know, enjoy bringing them up. Like I have a daughter, the first 6 months I was a stay-at-home mum totally, and I'm not taking away from the fact it is extremely hard. Cleaning, doing everything around the household, it's a lot of work.
But see, it's not just the child you're bringing up. I feel like if I just had to bring up my child and I didn't have all the other burdens, it would have been a bit easier.
Yeah,
but the fact that I'm doing every single chore, and I know some people
But is that a debate you should take up with your husband? Say,
That's what my next point was.
Yeah.
Why it's got to be government? I'm doing everything here.
Yeah, but see, I'm lucky enough to get help and get a cleaner and get a cook. But what about some mothers I know, well, some of my friends can't afford to work. They have to leave work to look after their children because childcare is more expensive, and their husbands don't have that extra money to give their wives, you know? And I feel like we're helping the economy by sitting home and doing all the work that we would be getting from, you know, the government. So that's my...
I love how the host catches her out for her bullshit there. She has to admit that she has a cleaner. She spends the first part of that clip talking about how it's fine if it was just looking after her kids. But then she complains all the housework is like cooking and cleaning and things like that is what makes her deserve £100,000 a year to look after her children. No, love. You decided to open your legs and pop out a couple of kids. Other people shouldn't have to pay you to look after them. Now, she planned to keep the fact that she had a cleaner quiet so she could act like the oppressed woman in a house unable to afford to go out or unable to go out and buy what she wants. Nice try there, love. Now, from what I have been told, you have had lip filler put in, you have hair extensions, expensive nails, eyelashes, and God knows what else. You're hardly oppressed, are you? What a complete joke. If you really are that lazy, you can get a cleaner for like £6 or £7 an hour for a couple of hours a day. You don't need to be Amir Khan to be able to afford that. Most people could do it, they just do it themselves since it's their house, their mess, and they're not that lazy. She then doubles down on her claim that paying all these people to stay at home would help the economy. She must have taken lessons from the economist I spoke about yesterday in my video. He was as wrong about UK investments and Brexit as she is about stay-at-home mums in the economy.
Children isn't a right, though, is it? It's a luxury. Some people can't and would love to. Yeah. Why should they, through their taxes, pay for others to be at home having that time?
Because it's a choice at the end of the day. You're having a child. It's something that's never crossed my mind for a start. Like, even
what about your own sanity?
Yeah, no, it is, and I get it. Like, it's very hard. Like, there's been times where you're so exhausted, and then you've still got to clean.
I mean, I can't take a shower without an audience, without my children.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's a 24/7 job, you know, without a break.
Yeah, no, and I get that. And obviously, like, I'm lucky as well. Like, if I wanted to stay at home, I could do that. But I couldn't put a price on bringing up my kids and looking after my husband, and you know the little things. And it's just it's teamwork at the end of the day. Like, and even recently I've started working again, and my husband has been an absolute
so you're lucky
amazing
enough to work again and have someone look after your child.
Yeah, and I understand that.
But I think you also don't get appreciated. You know, you're doing all this. And if someone was to give you that bit of appreciation by giving you money to go out, to enjoy a bit and have that time to yourself, you go into depression if you're constantly just home looking after your children, doing all the chores with no help.
Because it's quite isolated.
Isn't that a personal thing? Isn't that a family thing? Isn't that something you work out with
Michaela
your
says
partner?
it's called housekeeping. Women's had it for years. My mum had it, my nan had it, my husband gave it to me when mine were little. Amanda says my partner pays me £200 a week to stay at home. It's definitely easier to go to work, she says.
She then moves on to ask him what about her sanity. You should be mentally sound enough to raise your own children, and considering money is not going to help you be mentally sound, you're already rich enough, love. Complaining that she couldn't take a shower without her kids being there. I'll place money on it that this woman is talking nonsense. I bet she had at least a couple of nannies helping her looking after these kids, since Amir Khan was likely away for weeks or more at a time due to his fights. Yes, women do experience what she said about having kids coming in the bathroom and annoying them while they're trying to have a bath, but I doubt she experienced it that much. Like I said, she would have had nannies, I'm sure. She has the money to hire 24-hour help. Most people don't, so making out like she was hard done by is so disingenuous. She wants to be appreciated by people giving her money she does not deserve. This sounds like her makeup business is not doing so well, so she decides she wants to top up her income. We then hear from people at home disagreeing with this silly woman's idea. It's such a nonsense thing to think of. I'm shocked. She actually got past the initial thought of the idea and actually took it to the point where people know about it. I mean, she can get what she wants. She can go and tell Amir, I want £100,000 a year, I'm looking after your children. And he's got enough money to deal with that. You don't need the government's help. Stop begging for handouts, you're already rich, man.
But would that not be the way of doing it? That the partner who goes out, even it could be the dad that stays at home, but the partner that goes out and earns the money then gives some extra money.
I wouldn't even say give. I think, I don't know, this whole like kind of feeling like an employee of your household. I think it's like, if your partner's working, that's your money. It's both of your money. You're not going to start crazy spending.
Totally get paid.
Let me just stop you there. The level-headed woman says a woman's husband can give them money each week. It's not like you're going to go out and do some crazy spending. Most people might not, but I'm sure Amir Khans Wife does a lot of crazy spending. He's worth £23 million. She ain't shopping at Primark, let me tell you that.
You're the CEO of the house, you're looking after house bills, cooking, cleaning, and I think you should get appreciated a bit with... I mean, we're saving so much cost by being home, sitting and having that 24/7 on-the-go job. And I feel like a mother would do it better than anyone else would, you know? So I think that's something I strongly really believe.
Hey, if you want appreciation shown to you by people giving you money, why don't you start a Twitch channel? You could shake your ass on camera for the horny 13-year-olds on there who will throw money at you. That's them showing their monetary appreciation for you. Or do you not want to work for it, as you already have to work looking after your children? She then says staying at home is saving cost. No, it's not. You're not working. You're not paying income tax. You're not producing anything for the country. So, no, you're not.
I don't know, like, because even with my husband, like, and at first, when I first started working again, like a few months ago, I was on edge, because I was like, can he handle it, blah, 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 blah. And he can, so it's just a thing about teamwork. Yeah, like, and he's amazing.
Traveling, he's always away.
Yeah, I think it's just taken away. Like, in this day and age, everything's about money, and I just think
a bit of appreciation is always nice, not just money, but
no, I get the appreciation, but then it's like if you have a dog, and you're looking after your dog, and you're taking him for walks, do you get paid for that? Like, it's bringing it into a whole nother realm that I don't feel comfortable with.
But what about, in general, not just the child, though?
It's the whole... I know,
you know what I mean?
We're going to have to leave it there. Gaynor says, I don't want a salary for being a stay-at-home parent. I want my kids to realise I'm ma'am. Kay says, how can someone pay another wage to stay at home when a person, in reality, most people's wages are not enough to live on as it is? And that's the tricky thing, is trying to balance all of those things out.
No, it's not tricky. You want kids, you do what is needed to look after them and keep them safe. You don't expect the UK taxpayer to fund your shopping trips, fake hair, nails, lips, and whatever else you fancy slapping on. The sugar babe gets it right with her dog analogy. The reward is the bond and love you share. This woman does not care about that, though. She only cares about the money. In her mind, it's literally money talks or bullshit walks. This is something Mrs. Khan should have taken up with Amir, not come on the telly to push this narrative. It sounds like a discussion a gold-digging wife would have with her 70-year-old husband. I'm sorry, love, but the UK taxpayer did not bust a nut inside you to give you these two kids. The extremely rich boxer Amir Khan did, so go and speak to him about your £100,000 a year. Now that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video as it helps a lot, and I will see you all in the next video.
Man's gonna kill this shit, you'll need SWAT and medics too. Off for the contract credits due. Punchline king, I'm ahead of you. A&E's where you're heading to. Whip is green but the lights are blue. Bars are shit, take the mic from you. Heating up cheese, I don't like fondue.